We are going to make a beef stew in the crock pot. So you're going to need some stew meat, some sliced mushrooms, an onion chopped up, 1 can of cream of mushroom soup, a half cup of beef broth, and then you'll need some brown gravy mix, and then I'm using onion soup mix. They do have a beefy soup mix as well. You can use whichever one you want to. I'm just going to use the onion one because that's what I have on hand. So starting off, I'm going to sear my meat in my skillet here, and if you don't want to do this step, you don't have to. I can tell a difference between the taste and texture when it's seared and when it's not, and I prefer it this way. If you don't want to do it this way, you don't have to. And then I chopped up an onion here into big chunks, and then my mushrooms I'm going to add in as well. Make sure you wash your mushrooms. Mine were very dirty, so I did end up washing those, and then I'm going to add in my Lipton soup mix along with my brown gravy mix. And then I'm going to add in my cream of mushroom soup and a half cup of the juices of the beef broth. I will say that I ended up keeping the can because there's plenty left over just in case I wanted to add more. And I actually did add more before putting away all of the leftovers because it got a lot thicker and it wasn't very gravy-y, if that makes sense. So I did let it cook for a few hours, and then I went ahead and gave it a really good stir to get it all mixed up. I just kind of wanted everything to get warm. And then I'm going to end up cooking this on low for the rest of the 6 hours. If you want to cook this on high, you can do that as well. I just prefer to cook mine on low. Now I'm just going to serve this over mashed potatoes with some green beans, and this was absolutely delicious. I feel like I've honestly shared this before, how I always make my stew meat gravy mixture here. And honestly, you can never go wrong with a stew. I love beef stew, and this is definitely one of my favorites for sure. Absolutely delicious. We are going to make chicken pot pie. So you're going to need about a pound of chicken. I have chicken breast here. You can use whatever chicken you want. I usually use thighs, but this is what we have on hand. You'll need a 12-ounce bag of frozen vegetables. You can use a big can of cream of mushroom soup, or cream of chicken, I'm sorry, or 2 small cans of cream of chicken, whatever you want to use. You will need some chicken broth as well to cover, enough to cover the chicken. So I'm going to just use my chicken bouillon. And then whatever seasoning you want to put on your chicken, I'm going to use some garlic powder, some kickin' chicken, some onion powder, and some seasoning salt. So now starting off, I'm just going to add my chicken breast to my crock pot here. I will say that my chicken breast is still a little bit frozen, but it is fine. And then I am just going to season all of my meat with all the seasonings that I showed you in the beginning. Measure with your heart. And then I'm going to add in the rest of my ingredients. Now for my chicken bouillon, I did add in 2 cups of that, and I feel like that was absolutely perfect. And then I'm going to cook this on low, of course, for 6 hours. If you want to cook this on high, you can do that as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my chicken out and get it shredded up to our liking. Shred it up as you would like. And I will tell you that I did forget to mention in the beginning that because this is chicken pot pie, you are going to need some rolls to make. You can use the Pillsbury Doughboy rolls, whatever kind of rolls that you want to. I did end up making homemade biscuits. So yeah, if you want to use biscuits or rolls or whatever you want to use, you can do that. If you want to see my homemade biscuit recipe, let me know down in the comments below. We absolutely love those biscuits. They are so delicious, and that's what I'm going to serve this over. So now I'm going to serve the pot pie over these biscuits. This was absolutely delicious, so flavorful. I loved every bite of this. And I will say I ate off of this for like 2 days. And the second day I actually ate this with Doritos. Yes, I took Dorito chips and scooped out that chicken pot pie, and it was delicious. Make this because you will not regret it. You're going to make chicken legs in the crock pot, and I'm actually doing chicken thighs and chicken legs. Do whatever you want to. You're going to need about a half a cup, 1.5 cups of chicken broth. So I am just going to use my chicken bouillon. You'll need a little bit of flour, some butter, and then whatever seasonings you want to use. I am going to use some onion powder, mixed up salt, some Cajun seasoning, some kickin' chicken, garlic powder, and some paprika. So now in the bottom of my crock pot, I'm going to sprinkle that flour all over, covering the bottom of this. And then I'm going to add in my chicken. I did kind of have like 2 layers of chicken. So I'll lay my chicken down, add in my chicken bouillon, season my chicken, add the other 2 that were remaining, and then season those as well. Now I'm going to add little dollops of butter all over my chicken here. And if you have a stick of butter, you can use that as well. Add as much butter as you would like. And then I'm going to cook mine on low, of course, for 6 to 7 hours. And here we are. This is done. The chicken was just falling off the bones. And I'm telling you what, this video right here, these are like my favorite recipes. I loved every one of these, and if you try these, y'all, you will not be disappointed. This was absolutely delicious. And then of course I used some of that gravy to cover my mashed potatoes. You gotta love a gravy. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys make one of these or all 3 of them. And don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.